Crude oil crisis. If you are someone who's not aware of what the crude oil crisis is, nothing to worry. Press the I button, watch the entire video I had made after this video. It's a must watch. Now, if you see, the demand for crude oil is at a 25-year low. US inventories are almost full. Actually, the worldwide inventories are sitting at the maximum level. Crude oil crisis. Now, a lot of you have been asking me on mail, on free guidance, or a lot of my students have been asking this, and they're asking me, sir, crude oil crisis ho rahi hai, how can we take the advantage of it? What sectors should we buy? What will happen to the Indian economy? My friend, today you will find all your answers. Hi guys, my name is Goela and I'm an investor, trainer and mentor in stock markets. Now, first, the crude oil crisis, how will it affect the Indian economy? Now, if you see, the Indian crude oil requirement, the total Indian crude oil requirement, 80% of that is imported from outside. 80% of our crude oil requirements are imported from outside. Now, if crude oil is so cheap, and specifically the WTI crude oil, then हमारे लिए तो बहुत ही अच्छा है. It will help in a fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit क्या होता है in a government where expenditure is more than the income, right? So definitely this is a better thing for us. And if you see in the past also, a lot of times our markets correct. Why? Because the international crude oil prices go high. But in this situation, तो हमारे लिए अच्छा है. Now look at this, because this is good only to a certain extent. Now these are the list of companies and this is their exploration cost, this is their extraction cost for every barrel of crude oil. For UAE, it's $48 a barrel. For Russia, it's $12 a barrel. Saudi, $16 a barrel. USA, $45 a barrel. And for India, it's $20 a barrel. ये इन सब के extraction rates हैं. Now, if these countries are earning less than their extraction rate, if you see USA, right, the extraction cost of USA is $45 a barrel. If they are earning less than this, इसका मतलब क्या है? Yes, it is good for us, but overall it is very bad, because we understand this, guys. हमें globalized world में रहते हैं. We live in the era of globalization. It's one economy. It's a worldwide economy. If USA and other countries in this list take a beating because of crude oil, तो ultimately उनकी economy में फर्क पड़ जाएगा. And if their economy gets hampered, then other things like technology and textile, which India exports, they will stop taking that. So ultimately effect तो India को पड़ेगा ही पड़ेगा. It's the era of globalization. Even if one or two countries get affected, all the countries in the map get affected, because it's like we are like one human body, no? Even if one organ is not working properly, it is going to affect you. So yes, crude oil crisis is good for India because we are getting cheaper crude oil and it will help in a fiscal deficit, but only to an extent. If this continues on for long, we will see a massive problem. And if you see right now, more than 50 refinery companies have already filed for bankruptcy. More than 50 oil refinery companies have already filed for bankruptcy. So in conclusion, is it good? In the short run, it's good. But in the long run, it is not good for the Indian economy or any economy in the world. Now, let's talk about the oil refinery and oil extraction sectors. Now, if you see, in this industry, I'm going to take the example of Reliance Industries. All of you know that share. And if you see, majority of Reliance Industries shares are through its refineries. It's one of the world's biggest oil refineries, right? All these refineries, they work on a GRM. What is the GRM? Gross Refinery Margin. Gross Refinery Margin. All refineries work on GRM. Now, what is the GRM? GRM is a situation जहाँ पे उनका profit margin is fixed. They have a fixed profit margin. So, if the production cost goes high or low, most of the times the GRM remains the same. As the news I got from the internet recently, in the recent times, Reliance has been operating on a GRM of $9 a barrel, which is extremely good. Now think about this. When the raw material price of crude oil is to the dumps, सो प्रोडक्ट बनाने का फायदा क्या है? अगर रॉ मटेरियल की प्राइस इतनी कम है तो रिफाइंड ऑयल की प्राइस कितनी होगी? सो ऑफ कोर्स इट्स गोइंग टू हिट देयर GRMs and of course it's going to hit their net profit. And not only Reliance but all the companies that are in refinery and in extraction sector. Now let's see look at the fundamentals. Now the PEG of Reliance, the PE, the payback period, the cash flows, the profit and loss, the balance sheets, all the ratios, they are fantastic. Reliance Industries है यार, it has to be fantastic, right? But should you buy? No. I cannot tell you that in the short run and no one can tell you that in the short run. इसका best answer ये है to look at the 100 DMA. What is the DMA? It's the daily moving average. Now as you can see the graph, whenever the share price cuts the 100 moving DMA from bottom, you buy it. And whenever it cuts from top, you sell. फिर से, whenever the share price cuts from the bottom of this is the share price, this is the 100 DMA. Whenever the share price cuts from the bottom, you buy. Whenever it cuts from the top, you sell. Now, as of now, from the past data, if you can see from the graph, right now it has not cut the 100 DMA from the bottom, but it seems like that it most likely will, and in the very near future. That is the right time to buy. Why am I telling this? Because a lot of people tell me, Harsh, should we buy this, should we buy that? My friend, there are a lot of things which you need to see. But if you're a beginner, but if you're someone जिसके पास इतना time नहीं है for stock market, then perfect fine, follow the 100 DMA. Right? Now let's talk about the aviation sector. Aviation sector, aeroplanes, air travel. Mainly we have two shares in our country, SpiceJet and Interglobe. Interglobe is Indigo. Now both of these companies have a more or less monopoly in our country. Now if you see, aviation sector is very interesting because 50% aviation companies की 50% cost is in the aviation fuel. 50% cost is in the aviation fuel itself. So if the crude oil prices are so low, will it help them? Definitely it will help them. But a thing to notice here is, are they buying crude oil? Or are they buying aviation fuel? They are buying aviation fuel. And these companies are buying aviation fuel from government refineries or private refineries in our country itself. Right? Now do you think they are going to get the refined oil at the same prices of the international crude oil? No. Okay? Why? Because in India, you have a lot of taxes, you have a lot of other things that will be added up. Yes, aviation fuel and normal petrol and diesel for us in cars might get a little less, but definitely not in the same proportion. जितना crude oil नीचे गिरा है, उतनी हमारी prices नीचे नहीं गिरने वाली है, because government is going to maintain its taxes. And to be honest, I support that. Why do I support that? Because if you see in the current situation, COVID-19 era, in this, government is already giving so much economic relief, so much economic benefits to sectors, to segments of people, that of course government का fiscal deficit बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है. So this is something, again, that is not going to make a major impact on its fiscal deficit, but definitely थोड़ा बहुत help कर ही सकता है. So this is fine. Now aviation sector, yes, they might get the aviation fuel little low, but not that considerable. Now second, don't you think people will fly again? Don't you think you will go out and go to a holiday again? Of course you will. So these companies will do well and they have a monopoly. So again, watch out for the 100 DMA. दोनों में 100 DMA करो. Now if you see the graphs, first for Interglobe. Now Interglobe, as you can see, there's a long time, so do not buy this share. जब तक it does not cut the share price of Interglobe does not cut the DMA from the bottom. Second, let's see SpiceJet. Same situation. जब तक these share price does not cut from the bottom, do not buy these shares. Again, I am telling you this on a very raw level. If you are if you critically analyze shares, for our students, I don't recommend this because usme we look at a lot of other parameters also. But for you, if you don't have much time or if you're just looking for your investments, 100 DMA is a perfect thing to follow. So, what we did today, first, how did it affect the Indian economy, second, oil refinery sectors and extraction sectors, third, aviation sector. Now, what I want you to take from this is, and I'll be very honest with you, a lot of people are calling me and telling me and asking me actually, Harsh, can I invest in crude oil? इससे ज़्यादा नीचे तो गिरेगा नहीं. अब तो खरीद, अब अच्छा टाइम है, अब खरीद देते हैं क्रूड ऑयल. व्हाट डू यू से? आई से नो, मत खरीदो. Why? Because same thing people were telling me 2-3 weeks ago. 2-3 weeks ago also someone called me and they said, Harsh, I want to buy crude oil. What's your opinion on it? तो मैंने पूछा ठीक है, क्यों खरीदना? What is your analysis? So he said, इतना नीचे गिर गया है और कितना गिरेगा? दोस्त वो नेगेटिव हो गया. तो there is no rule in the world that says that और नीचे नहीं गिर सकता. Right? So yes, you also might be in that situation that you might feel कि this share has gone too high, that's the time to sell. और ऊपर नहीं चढ़ेगा. और this share और commodity और index has come too low, आप खरीद लो कि उससे ज़्यादा नीचे नहीं गिरेगा. ऐसा कोई thumb rule नहीं है और ये कोई बता भी नहीं सकता. So stop predicting these highs and lows. And ये होता है because as human beings, as investors, we have a nature that we know everything and we try to predict the lows and highs of stock markets, which is not possible. And that is why I urge you to follow the 100 DMA. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. I don't want you to make predictions like these because we are not gods, right? So follow the 100 DMA. Comment करके मुझे नीचे लिखो and मुझे बताओ what is your analysis. Tell me your analysis on sectors. How will they get affected by the crude oil crisis? मुझे बताओ. Do you think it's the tire industry that's going to do well? It's the automobile industry. It's the paint industry. It's the power generation industry. A lot of industries are dependent on crude oil. So do your research, do your study, और आप मुझे बताओ what do you think and how do you think crude oil crisis is going to affect these sectors in a good way or a bad way? And again, if you're right or if you're wrong, it does not matter. The matter is I want to see your analytical skills. Right? I want you to discuss your analytical skills so that all of us can improve together. Well, that is it for today. So if you're watching this video and if you liked it, if you watched this video till this point, then don't be afraid to help us out by clicking the subscribe button. Click a big fat like if you like the video so that we know you want these kind of videos. तो हम और videos बनाएंगे. Right? Join our value mails. नीचे आपको link description में मिल जाएगा. Join our value mails if you want this type of content. If you want कि Harsh, I want to get updated about these kind of things. Join करो. Till then, this is Goela School of Finance. Financially,